Twestival is a Twitter festival. Now, a lot of people think that it's happening online, that everyone's tweeting and we're having a big festival and it's big fun, when it's actually, we're using Twitter as a mechanism to bring people offline. And what we're doing is we're having people organize physical events on one day for one cause, or in the case of our local version, for local charities, and really find a way to bring the community together. But Twitter is really the catalyst, the way that we crowdsource and get involved. And to date, we've raised $1.75 million over 4 consecutive campaigns. So the first year we supported Charity Water, which is a nonprofit that works to provide clean and safe drinking water access to those in developing countries who really need it the most. And they're a completely transparent organization, which is why we selected them. They actually have, you can see on Google Map how things are being developed. When you raise money for a well, you can follow up on where that is. And last year we worked with Concern Worldwide, who are pretty much the largest, most incredible organization you've never heard of. They work with tons of partners all around the world, but they are really working with people on the ground to look at the root of how education is developed, and how can we support this, because it goes beyond just building schools, and that's really the kind of organization we wanted to partner with. Sometimes I don't know. The first year was definitely the buzz about Twitter and social media. It was the new thing. People wanted to be a part of it. We picked the right cause. Charity Water had a great, bright message, which was really something we could capture globally within 140 characters. I mean, $20 gives one person clean and safe drinking water for 20 years. And that, in essence, is what we were selling, which was a ticket to an event. And by doing that, one person could have that kind of impact, as well as having a great night with their friends. Now, to do this, I needed volunteers. I needed people to give their time and their talent and their skills. And I really believe that if you give people the opportunity and show them they can be a part of something bigger, and really have that loyalty and trust, where I follow up and show them exactly where their money is going, and listen to them, and we have conversation about what's going to happen next year. I think that that's a way that we continue to engage and be loyal. And there's some that have come and gone, and everyone is busy, but every year we get some fantastic new cities. This year we actually had in Tunisia, which is our largest event, we had over 800 people host an event, and it was days after the revolution, and they contacted me and said, "We think we want to do this." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" But they were completely enthusiastic and raised over $8,000 themselves. Yeah, I think what people need to understand is that we always separate the two, this online, offline world, when I live in both. I mean, it should just complement each other. And I think that's something that we do really well with Twestival. I'm not trying to complicate it. We're asking for people to physically attend events. That's how we make the bulk of our money. And that's how we get our fundraising for nonprofits. But we do, and especially this year, we partnered with different fundraising platforms all around the world, so people could donate, and partnered so that we could have 100% donation go direct to them. And we definitely had an increase where people really felt, and they started to see through the blog and how we were communicating, that people were really looking at where these funds were going. And when we're examining the partnerships that we're having locally with the charities, that's the question I ask them is, yes, we're going to do this, and we can put something online, but in the real world, what is this going to mean? Is this going to mean that 6 children are actually going to be out of foster care, and they're going to be in a home and educated? What kind of example is that going to have? And empower people to share that message, and continue to develop relationships offline. Online fundraising is hard. It's really, really hard. And with Twitter in particular, it's not impossible. You can definitely set up, and there's different services, but from my experience of over 2.5 years of doing fundraising and using Twitter, you really have to use it as a catalyst to do things offline, or point people to a direction or a website which will explain seamlessly how they can be involved and how their donation is going to have a direct impact on what they're supporting. So So I'm really lucky from a global perspective. I've partnered with 2 organizations, Charity Water and Concern Worldwide, and from the outset I was very straight with them. We want to be transparent, we want to be open. So I actually get updates and emails, and they think I'm pretty chill. They are actually, a lot of their donors expect a little bit more, but I feel like they're communicating fair enough of, you know, where our funds are going. And I think we set the bar and a level of expectation where I get, you know, reports from our global partners. Charity Water actually emailed me not too long ago to say that all 55 of our wells 2 years later are now completed. So we're just in the midst of putting all of that on a separate Google website that we can translate that. So people can go to charitywater.org/Twestival, and there'll be a permanent site. There is now, but we're just going to update it so that comes full circle. So there's no question on the amount of money we raised and exactly where that went. Now with Concern Worldwide, it's a little bit more complicated. It's not like we're just building a school or a well, but we tried to translate that into which countries are we supporting and why do we select those countries. And also we're looking at the projects. You know, we're supporting 56 teachers to have teacher training. That's something that we can actually put a financial value on in terms of donations. But I think when you look at something like Haiti, we gave $100,000 to them, and I can't say exactly where that's going, but I know it's implementing and it's helping child-friendly spaces, and we can see the result and the impact of that. So I think it's just having a dialogue and continuing to talk to people about where the funds are going. Something that we did is 6 weeks after the first one, we actually went to Ethiopia with Charity Water, and we drilled the first well, and that was a pretty amazing experience because not only we didn't have great reception, but we occasionally would tweet where we were so people could follow the experience. And every night over 4 days, and which is the process to drill a well, we would upload videos. So we brought a videographer with us and a photographer, and we would take people through the experience of drilling the first well. Now we obviously can't do this for every single well, but I think that when people saw the emotion and the connection, it definitely, Charity Water definitely would be a successful organization without Twestival, but I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that it escalated it to a point where they had a really strong base, and that really comes down to how they followed up. It's an impressive way to communicate, and video is a powerful way to do that. And I think that if you engage in entertaining in the right amount of time, and not every day, people definitely want to hear, and we've seen results of that.